not be asked with an articulation agreement to repeat a class that they already taken. And advisors can reach out to the students early in their career, because what we do is usually when we have an articulation with someone, we open up the lines of communication, not just with the faculty, but with our admissions counselors, student support services there. So you'll call and say, look, I have a student, he's really interested in coming to university, I'd like him to come and talk to you now. He's only a freshman, he's only our first year, but he's indicated that he wants to go on. And I guess that knowing that not every transfer student finishes their four-year degree, that can be a little bit of a touchy situation because you don't want to lose the transfer student. But I can speak for Mercy and for probably many of the four-year schools. We want the student to finish after four-year school. We don't want to take the student after a year because we're not graduating. That's our goal. We want a graduated student. And we know, we're assured that when they finish the two-year program and they have a high GPA and they've taken all these courses, their chance of success with us is so much greater than one who starts at the two-year school, takes a few courses, drops out, I don't think this is for me, I'm going to go somewhere else. Sometimes comes to the four-year school, I don't think this is for me either, maybe I'll go back to another two-year school, I'll try. So we really are looking for the associate degree student. So we can open up the lines of communication and say, I'm working with a student who's thinking of coming to your program, then we can start counseling the student early, giving them ideas of what they need to take, and students that might be interested, in example, for the health sciences. They might be wanting to go on for occupational therapy, physical therapy, master's degree programs. Well, they need a certain amount of volunteer hours to be a good example. So if they're in a program in a two-year school and they're thinking of coming to our program, it's nice to be able to say, we really should start volunteering now in the hospital because you're going to need, before you can apply for your graduate program, a certain amount of volunteer hours, and this is what we think you should do. It's good if we can get them early, and that's what the articulation agreements help us do. And it decreases attrition and increases graduation rate of transfer students. I was thought, when I first came, a transfer student, their graduation rate should be just like right up to here. It's not. You know, when you look at the whole transfer student population, and you see their graduation rate is only slightly higher than the graduation rate of our first-time full-time freshmen. I couldn't understand that. I really couldn't. Then when I started to break it down to look at it, I did see that the students that came to us with an associate degree definitely were on the high end of the graduation rate compared to the transfer students, the swirlers, and all the people who came. I mean, I don't know what you see, but I see students come with 5, 6, 7 transcripts that they bring to us when they come directly. They've been all over. And you know, now they're online, they're taking all of these different courses all over. And sometimes we're expected sometimes to have the magic bullet. Well, you know, they went to 7 colleges, why are we going to be the last? So these, when a student does finish their associate degree, they've proven that they're motivated, they can finish something, they're graduated, and they're ready to really move on. So that's what we'll do then. So, how do you construct an articulation? Let's say you want to do this. What's the first thing that I need to construct the articulation agreement? And the answer to that is commitment from administrators. You have to start at the top. You have to have a commitment from both of the colleges that this is something we want to do. The administrators have to support the process, and they have to see it as a long-term goal with potential gains. You're going to gain from it as the two-year college, we're going to gain from it as the four-year college. And it has to be filtered, this commitment from the top has to be filtered to the faculty. Because it is the faculty who are going to be making the decisions, who are going to be looking at the courses and deciding what is equivalent and what isn't equivalent. So when the administration says, this is something that our college is committed to, we want to have an articulation agreement with this college, the faculty will then get on board. So then the next thing, so as you have this commitment, you have to say, well, what programs It's a very individual thing. What programs at the junior school are going to be good fit for students at our school? Because again, just to say, yes, we take 75 credits, you can do whatever you want, it doesn't mean anything, really. You have to look at particular programs, certain niche programs. You might have a particular program in computer graphics or music technology or something like that, and then you say, well, I have to find a four-year college that really will serve these students well and has a similar program. And that's what we do. We look at some of our niche programs, or even like a nursing program, which is exactly a niche program, but a nursing program is a very good articulation agreement. We work with the nurses, we work with the community colleges, so that nurses, when they graduate, can then go on and get their bachelor's degree. Certainly, that's a pretty good example for nurses. Years ago, after they had their RN, they would go out and work, and the jobs were plentiful, and that was what they needed. But what we're seeing today is that most of these hospitals that want to get the magnet status have to have a certain amount of nurses with a BS in order to get magnet status. So the nurses are coming back to complete that. And even that, it's like sort of like the last bastion of that's sort of jobs, they're very employable people with the nurses. Even the nurses are saying that they're not getting jobs and that it's hard for them to get employed. So it's tough times. And which is why, as we have all said, students are coming back to realign themselves, to get ready, so that when the economy does turn around, they will have the tools that they need. Show me the money. Scholarships for students. You have to be upfront about scholarships for students, and you have to give them. Students need that. As I said before, that sticker shock for a private school can be great for a student. But you also have to help students understand what the scholarship means. Most of the time, you're not going to have a full scholarship. You're going to get some aid, you're going to get your TAP and Pell, and then the college is going to give them a sum of money, usually based on their GPA. The first thing, anything with GPA and above, there's a set amount of money that will be offered to them. But sometimes you have to really educate your students at the junior colleges. They'll shop around and they'll say, well, Fordham is giving you $6,000 and you're only giving me $5,000. Yeah, your tuition might be twice as much as ours. So you have to really, what they have to keep in mind is how much is this going to cost them? How much am I going to have to pay? And how much of a loan am I going to have to take? And for some students to go into a 4-year at the community school, or a school like Lehman, or a school like Brewer, it's a great fit for the student. It's a great bargain for the student. And if they can move on to do that, it's a wonderful thing. But you know your students. We've been talking about it. 15 in a class, 20 in a class. Not for every student that's going to be a good thing. So I'm sure you want to get your students into those schools and you want to get themselves in the best possible situation that they can get to. But sometimes a school that's going to give them 15 in the class, 12 in the class, is going to ensure their success. And that's really what we all want, is that success for the student. So talking to a student, knowing the student, and helping them make a decision about where the best place for them to transfer is very important. Money, of course, is always an issue. But in the long run, when a student graduates and gets a job in the field that they want, that money will get paid back eventually. If they make a bad choice for a school just based on money, then they might not get to where they want to go. It's just something like that. And then there's the regular follow-up to evaluate the success of the agreement and make sure that any changes in curriculum are duly noted and obtained. We have to follow up. We can't just say, okay, well, we made an articulation agreement. Yeah, well, how's it going? What did anyone from our school come? Well, how did they do? Were they prepared? This has to be, again, the faculty have to get together at the beginning to talk about what the equivalencies are, but it has to be an ongoing process where they get together and they talk about, well, gee, all of the people that came from science at Nashville Community College were terrific. They're great students. They came so well prepared. This is really a great thing. While maybe another community